My neighbor Dave drives a beat-up Honda Civic from 2012. Lawn's a mess, same 3 shirts for years, and I found out last month he's worth over $3 million. Meanwhile, my friend Marcus, Range Rover, designer everything, picks up tabs at restaurants, texted me last week asking to borrow $200. If you've been here a while, you've met Marcus. If you're new, just know he always looks rich, right up until he needs cash. Here's the weird part. Dave does one thing every month that Marcus will never do. It takes him 5 minutes. It's so boring you'll probably laugh, but it's the difference between looking rich and being rich. I'll tell you what it is in a few minutes, right at habit 3. What's up, everyone? And if you're new here, welcome. Here's the deal.
I'm going to walk you through 7 habits that separate people who actually build wealth from people who just look like they have money. And at the end, I'm giving you a specific decision rule for which habit to start with tomorrow based on your exact situation. Not vague advice, actual next steps. Fair warning, none of this is sexy. There's no crypto trading strategy, no get-rich-quick scheme. This is the boring, unsexy, proven stuff that actually works. The kind of habits that won't make you Instagram famous, but will make you financially free. Let's go. Habit 1 out of 7. Set it and forget it. Here's the pattern I keep seeing. Most people get their paycheck, it hits their account, and they tell themselves, okay, cool, I'll move some to savings later this week. Spoiler alert.
Later never comes. Your friend's birthday dinner pops up. That Amazon thing you've been eyeing. Next payday arrives, you saved $0. Again. People who build wealth don't play that game. They don't rely on willpower. They set up their money to move automatically before they even see it. Here's how this works. Payday hits. Before you check your balance, $500 goes to your emergency fund. $300 goes to investments. Bills pay themselves. What's left? That's your spending money. You can't spend what you don't see. I started doing this 3 years ago. Used to stress about saving every month. Now, I don't even think about it. My future self gets paid first, automatically. Dave set this up 15 years ago, never touched it since. Marcus, every month is a decision, and every month something comes up. Do this today. Open your banking app right now.
Set up one automatic transfer, $50 on payday, to a separate savings account. The habit matters more than the amount. Habit 2 is where buying cheap gets expensive. Habit 2, the cost per use calculator, total mind shift. Most people see $200 boots and think, too expensive. Then they grab $50 boots at a fast fashion store. People who build wealth pull out a mental calculator. $50 boots last 6 months. $200 boots last 10 years. Over 10 years, cheap boots cost you $1,000, 20 pairs. The expensive boots? Still $200. My friend bought a $75 office chair. Back pain for a year, then it broke. I bought a used Herman Miller for $300. 15 years later, still perfect. This applies to everything you use daily. Kitchen knives, your mattress, your work bag. But here's the thing. This mindset also stops you from buying stuff you don't need. When you ask, how many times will I actually use this? That $50 gadget suddenly isn't a good deal. Dave buys fewer things, but keeps them longer. Marcus buys new, then buys again 6 months later. Do this today. Before your next purchase, ask 2 questions. What's the cost per use? Does this add value? Or am I buying it because it's on sale? Habit 3 is where you'll see that boring monthly habit I mentioned. Habit 3, scoreboard obsession. And the scoreboard is net worth, not income. Quick question. Would you rather make $100,000 and spend $95,000, or make $60,000 and spend $45,000? Most people say the first one. Bigger number feels better. But think about it. Scenario 1, you keep $5,000. Scenario 2, you keep $15,000.
The second person is building wealth 3 times faster. Real wealth is quiet. Debt is loud. People who build wealth care about net worth. Everything you own minus everything you owe. That's the only scoreboard that matters. I know people making $200,000 with a net worth of 0. Nice car, nice apartment, nice life. Hamster wheel. Then I know people making $70,000 with a net worth of $500,000. Who sleeps better? Once you start tracking your net worth, you get addicted to making it grow. You don't want to see the scoreboard go backwards. And by the way, here's that boring monthly thing Dave does. He updates his net worth spreadsheet. Every month, 5 minutes. That's it. Dave tracks net worth. Marcus tracks payments. And once you track it monthly, You can't unsee it. Every decision either moves the number up or drags it down. Do this today.
Open a simple spreadsheet. Write down everything you own. Bank accounts, investments, home equity. Subtract everything you owe. Credit cards, loans, whatever. That number is your net worth. Write today's date next to it. Check it again in 30 days. Habit 4 is where the math gets completely unfair. Habit 4. Time traveling with money. Hardest one because our brains want the dopamine hit now. But wealth is a time game, not a money game. Let me show you with actual numbers. You're 25. You invest $300 a month, $10 a day. You average 8% annual return in a basic index fund. 40 years later, at 65, how much do you have? It's not the $144,000 you put in. It's not even $300,000. It's over $1 million, around $1.05 million. That's compound interest.
Now you wait until 35 to start. Same $300 a month, same 8%. 30 years instead of 40. You end up with $446,000. Still good, but you just lost over $600,000 by waiting 10 years. People who build wealth start early and think long-term. They're not trying to get rich next year. They're playing a 20, 30, 40-year game. You don't need perfect decisions. You just need consistency. Dave started at 23, small amounts at first, and he increased it every time he got a raise. Never stopped. Marcus keeps saying he'll start next year. He's 38 now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Do this today. Open a brokerage account, Vanguard, Fidelity, whatever. Set up automatic investing, even if it's $25 a month. Start the clock.
Habit 5. Never all eggs in one basket. Scary thought. Most people's entire financial life depends on one thing, their job. If they lose it, everything falls apart. Companies downsize, industries change, stuff happens. People who build wealth build redundancy, multiple income streams. I'm not saying work 3 jobs. I'm talking about setting up systems where your money works for you in multiple ways. Here's what this looks like. You have your main job, stream 1. You invest in a broad index fund, stream 2. Maybe you invest in a real estate investment trust, stream 3. Freelance a few hours a month, stream 4. Quick example. A teacher I know built a tiny tutoring side gig, now about $600 a month. She invested part of it, and now another couple $100 a month shows up without her teaching extra hours. It's not quit your job money. It's I'm not panicking money. That's the goal. None of these streams have to be huge. If you lose your job, you're not at zero. You still have investment income, maybe rental income, freelance income. It buys you time. Dave has his main job plus 3 small income streams. Marcus has his job, period. Do this today. If you have a job, that's stream 1. Stream 2 can be opening a brokerage account and buying 1 broad fund. 2 income streams. Done. Habit 6. The upgrade trap. This one's brutal. You get a raise, $50,000 to $60,000, extra 10 grand a year, $830 a month. Finally, you can breathe. So you upgrade. Bigger apartment, nicer car, eating out more, nicer clothes. 3 months later, the whole raise is gone. And now you're stuck. Because once you upgrade, it's really hard to downgrade. You get used to the nicer place, the nicer car. If something happens, if you lose your job, you're in trouble. Living paycheck to paycheck, just at a higher income level. The shift. When people who build wealth get a raise, they pretend it didn't happen. Money goes to investments, to savings. Lifestyle stays the same. For years. Same car, same place, same clothes. Net worth skyrockets. Here's the rule I follow. Get a raise, take 10 to 20% and upgrade one thing. One thing. Better coffee, gym membership. The other 80 to 90% goes to investments. $1,000 monthly raise, spend $100 to $200 on something that genuinely improves life. $800 to $900 builds wealth. When Dave gets a raise, he picks one small upgrade. Everything else goes to investments. When Marcus gets a raise, everything upgrades. Do this today. If you got a raise in the last year, look at your spending. Did it all disappear? If you're about to get a raise, decide right now where 80% goes, before you see it. Habit 7. Crisis-proof mindset. When the market crashes, when the economy tanks, most people panic. Sell everything, make emotional decisions, freak out. That's when they lose money. Panic selling locks in losses. People who build wealth stay calm, not because they're smarter, but because they prepared. They knew it was coming eventually. Markets crash, economies cycle, stuff happens. So they built their finances to weather storms. The preparation looks like this.
Emergency fund, 6 to 12 months of expenses in cash, no high-interest debt. Diversified investments, money spread out. Because of this prep, when crisis hits, they can respond instead of react. Reacting is emotional, responding is strategic. Dave has 12 months of expenses saved. Back in 2008, he didn't panic, had his emergency fund, kept his job, actually bought more stocks while they were cheap. That move alone likely added a lot over the recovery, easily 6 figures over time. Marcus, when COVID hit and things got uncertain, stressed immediately. No emergency fund, all his money tied up in payments. One bump and he was scrambling. Crises create opportunities if you're prepared. Real estate crashes, if you're stable and prepared, there can be opportunities. Market tanks, for long-term investors, it can be a chance to buy at a discount.
You can't do this if you're panicking. You can't build an emergency fund during the emergency. You can't diversify during the crash. You do it now when things are calm. Do this today. Check your emergency fund. Do you have 1 month of expenses saved? If not, that's priority number 1. All right, 7 habits, 1-minute playbook. Automate everything. Buy for cost per use, not price. Track your net worth like a scoreboard. Think in decades. Build multiple income streams. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Prepare for crashes before they happen. Now here's exactly which habit to start with tomorrow based on your situation. If you have less than $1,000 saved right now, start with habit 1, automation. Set up automatic transfers to build your emergency fund first. Everything else can wait. If you have credit card debt or high interest debt, start with habit 6.
Stop the lifestyle inflation. Every raise, every extra dollar goes to killing that debt. Then automate. If you're already saving consistently but don't know where you stand, start with habit 3, track your net worth. You need to see the scoreboard. If you're doing all of that and comfortable, start with habit 5, build your second income stream. Open that investment account. Pick your situation, start tomorrow. Not next month, tomorrow. Here's what I learned from watching Dave and Marcus. Looking rich and being rich are completely different games. Marcus looks successful. Dave is successful. 20 years from now, Marcus will still be working because he has to. Dave works because he wants to. Which situation are you in? Drop a comment. If this was helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. Next week, I'm covering the flip side. 7 money mistakes that keep smart people broke. Some of these will surprise you. You might be making them right now. Here's your hint. One involves something you probably did today that's quietly draining your wealth. Can you guess? Drop it in the comments. See you next week.
Yeah!